I gave myself 1 month to create the game, and this is how it's going so far. Let's start from the beginning. It all started with these two sprites. The first challenge I faced was adding AI behavior to sprites so that the red one would always chase the green one. I spent 2 hours entirely on this thing until it finally worked. Then I got this crazy idea. Why use single colored boring sprites when you could just use sprites?
Oh man.
Okay. I always wanted to create a game inspired by Cookie Run Kingdom where characters with unique lore and abilities battle against each other, but with my own version. I began by creating my character design prototypes, which are inspired by the art style of Minecraft Mo voting character designs. Then I added Steve and Alex as prototype characters. As for the enemies, they have similar AA traits as them, who could do melee and ranged attacks. I slapped them on some fresh new zombie skins and call it a day. Ta-da! And that's it, the basics are done. After all that, I created a system for choosing a lineup and a bright green field to deploy the characters where they auto-battle all the enemies on the field. And if your lineup somehow manages to win, you unlock new characters, which you can add up to your lineup. Each character have their own unique skills and abilities which can be used for diverse strategic gameplays. This was inspired by the auto-battling mechanics of Hive Light. The characters I added were inspired by some of my most watched YouTubers back when I was still a kid, and some were characters in some Minecraft animations in YouTube. It's all basically revolved around Minecraft, and everything around here is anchored to something I was once inspired of. I played with it a little bit, and though it did not look good yet, at least I was able to make them exist. The main idea I had in mind was there would be a camp when suddenly enemies surround and attack it, and you have to defend it with all the people you have. Simple as that. But with what I currently had, it was fine for now, I guess. I really enjoyed playing it even though it's still far from being finished. I found myself playing it for hours until I decided it's time to add some more feels to the game to make it more alive. I wanted it to have some sort of a huge campfire illuminating the battlefield from the bottom so that all the shadows would point upwards. The way I did it was I created this giant glowing ball and placed it directly below the map, so it would create this glowing light effect radiating from the bottom. To make it really feel like it's in the forest, I added these leaf canopies on the edges of the map, which I stole from Pinterest because I was too lazy to pixel draw it myself. But I am planning to make one sooner or later, but that's just good for now. I'm just starting to see what ambition I'm going for. Taking inspiration from another game, I really wanted to have the game atmosphere similar to Minecraft Dungeons, where you would really feel that you're in a dark, ominous forest. The atmosphere I ended up having was warm and was not threatening at all, but it's somewhat unique and has its own feels. But for now, it really did not have to look perfect. I can polish it anytime later on. For what I have now, all characters are just being controlled by themselves. What the player does is simply create a lineup and position the characters on the battlefield, and the rest of the gameplay is just staring at the screen and waiting until the battle ends. That's when I added the skill icons for the players to manually activate their skills and time them when needed for combos and counterplays. It worked just fine until I found myself sticking my attention to the cooldown timers the whole time rather than focusing on the actual battle itself. So I decided to make it a single-use ultimate skill so you'd actually strategize when to use it and you could pay more attention to the battle itself. Instead of acquiring new character every victorious battle, I instead created a shop and currency system for purchasing items and upgrading stuff, which initially looked like this, and now look like this after I added potions. Yes, as for acquiring new characters, instead of buying them one by one or randomizing what you get, I made it so that you'd have 3 randomized options to choose from. It doesn't feel like a shop at all, but at least it works how it's supposed to do. And as for game levels, instead of having a single button for all the levels, I laid out all the levels on the map so as the game progresses, you'd see how far you've already come. And also for replayability purposes. The game turned out to be you raiding other camps instead of you defending your own camp. The vision of where this game is going keeps on changing, and it's possibly flowing to where I think it feels right. I'm still playtesting this thing over and over again. There's a lot of things I am planning to add in the future. This may not be a finished and polished product yet, but there are still a lot of things in it to be changed and fixed. But I am just glad I could reach up to this level after a month of developing. That's 1 month. See you in the next one.